The final countdown in the beginning of the show. What's going on, guys?
Just planning our year of vacation.
Never gonna give you up. Never gonna give you down.
Give you down?
I think I'm tired.
You're very
Never
sleepy.
gonna get you down.
He's a very
Hey-o.
sleepy boy. Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm Poofu Cuddly Poof, and this is level 121. Joining me tonight, we have Elliot.
That's me, Elliotto Bigel.
That's new. Corey.
Hello.
And Nate.
Hello.
No salutations this time. Okay, that's different.
We like to vary it. We're not a broken record here.
We sell more t-shirts that way.
It's true.
Would people buy t-shirts if we had t-shirts?
I have a t-shirt. It's backwards every time you see it.
Yeah, but that's black market.
That it is black market.
I mean, we prefer you record with t-shirt on this time,
Yes.
Kenny.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can't tell me what to wear.
Your whole body is a farmer stand.
How does that work?
I don't know, but he's got it.
Just picture it.
Put your shirt back on.
Now that everyone listening to the audio podcast is picturing me without a shirt, let's get going with the show. All right, we're not going to talk about food this time. That's going to be for next week. But I do want to know, Elle, you had a bone to pick with Target last week. Did they make it all better?
Well, Target was on my list of poop last week, but as I suspected, the date changed as soon as it shipped. It shipped on the 10th, and I had it on the 12th. So, yay.
So you're saying Target podcasted us?
Something like that, yes. Target podcasted us.
Well,
so I got the console. It arrived while I was at work, and I got home, and of course, I'm like, I don't feel like I don't feel like setting it up. So I took a nap. I know.
You took a nap?
Yeah, I took a nap.
You got a new $500 console and you take a nap.
I took a nap, and then I set it up when I woke up at midnight.
Sorry, let me put on my shocked face.
That's just your normal face, unless you're holding a unicorn chain or something. Yeah, so I set it up, and how Koosh described it was correct. He used the app, which he said it, but I just didn't believe it. It was actually really interesting. You used the app, and I was like, oh, it remembered everything from my previous Xbox. It signed me in. I didn't have to put my email and password, but it only had my tag. All the other tags, like my kids' tags and alts and stuff, were not there, so I had to put those in manually. So that kind of sucked.
Well, so this is exactly what we're getting to. Like, when's the last time you upgraded your phone? I know you're an Apple user, so you should have the same experience.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, when's the last time you upgraded your phone?
About a year ago.
So you should know that we are now moving into the phone era of video game consoles, and this further proves it, because when you got your new phone, it pretty much sets itself up for you. And it's not going to put multiple accounts on there.
Well, it should.
It should just know that.
Well, you're wrong. It should.
This person legitimately has 17 profiles.
That's normal.
One for each Zidalon title update. So that was an experience. I set it up, and you want to guess the first game I played on it?
Gems of War.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
I'm trying to think what's something extremely lame that Elle would play.
Destiny.
It's a Series X game. Optimized.
Oh, I know. I think I know what it is.
Tetris.
It is
Concept
Tetris.
Destruction. Oh, okay.
Concept Destruction was the third game I tried. Jumping ahead now. Oh my god, Tetris. I tried with headphones on, and it was just amazing. I don't even know what was going on.
You Tetrising things.
It was Tetrising. I'm not sure I imagine it's still good on normal Xbox, but it just
I
sounds
don't
great.
see how it could be different.
I was just about to ask,
Not
what is
to
the
burst your
difference
bubble.
between this Tetris and every other Tetris?
I don't know.
ever?
I'll let you know when I go back.
Well,
and
this
check it out.
Tetris is fun, but I don't see how a different console could make it better.
I don't know how this.
You're probably
Tetris could
right,
be
but
any
let me-
different.
let me have
unless
this
there's
one.
colors.
No, you can have it. I'm sorry.
Let me
I
have
didn't mean to ruin your fun. I didn't mean to really L it up.
Don't L it up. Going back to what you said earlier about the phone, one thing I do like is like when you put on Spotify or Netflix for the first time, you don't have to put in the name and password. You just go right on your app and put in a little code, and then it knows. So
That's
a
also
cool thing.
nice.
Yeah, have you ever done that? I don't know. I love it.
I know what you're talking about. Like
Yeah.
With
with
YouTube,
like all the
Netflix,
Roku
Spotify,
TVs kind of do the same thing where you have to go online, added the code and whatnot.
That's not the console so much as the vendor or the
Right.
provider.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, that new trend is great because it's already saved in your phone, the name and password. You just have to put a little code in. So going back to that, the second game I tried was one of your favorites, Corey, Maneater.
She's a man eater. Shout outs to Kelsey, ex the hero's wife. She just completed that game.
She did. Now, if she could only eat her husband, the world would be a better place.
What? Oh,
What-
no food
L.
talk.
This
Hold on.
is a clean podcast. Careful where you're about to go right there.
What?
It's okay. This is what he's thinking in his head. It's okay. X won't
I
listen.
said I want to meet him one day. That's what I said.
Once again, careful where you're going with this.
And then slap him. No, I love X.
He's a man meter.
He likes to drink Beefeater. So, do you know who did the voice of the narrator, Corey?
No.
Oh, okay. It is
I
Chris
remember.
Parnell. Have you ever heard that name?
I've heard the name. Yeah.
He is a Saturday Night Live alum. You might remember the viral hit "Lazy Sunday." Does that ring a bell?
Yeah. It's a
guy who's
spoof
not-
off Lazy Scranton.
The guy who's not Andy Samberg was Chris Parnell.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's not that famous, but he got big in that video. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. You just go and eat people. Had good
Very
graphics
good.
and sound, and it was optimized for the Series X.
It's a good game.
Then I tried
it's
Concept
also-
Destruction.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
The people have to know
Tell me.
that
Yeah.
Maneater is a free upgrade to next gen, and it's also on a Black Friday sales for like $13.
13, dude. Oh, pick that up. That's a fantastic price for that game.
Yeah. Physical, but what are you gonna do? $13. I recommend that game at full price. Carry on. Concept Destruction.
Oh, I just installed that because I just went to the filter of all the Series X optimized games, and I installed it, and I played one game, and it looked the same, and I quickly uninstalled it. But that was
Well,
like,
that was
why
fast.
did I do this?
Yeah.
Well,
Fun game.
they were talking about how what was the AI cars? It went from like 13 to where now they can run 50 at a time or something like that at 120 frames per second.
Oh man, I totally wish I could have experienced that. Oh darn. Oh man. They should have added a title update for another 1,000 gamer score.
Well, that's
I don't
not
think they
right
know
away.
about that yet.
So I haven't yet witnessed like Forza Horizon or Gears yet, so that's next on the list.
Well, you've played one car game, so you've played them all.
So one thing I did do that I said I was going to do, I think 2 weeks ago, was boot up Rise of Insanity. And that was the game where I had the achievement that would not pop for me. If you remember from, I think that was on our live show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I went through the game, and sure enough, it popped.
Nice.
Like
Thank
you
you,
went through the
Series
whole
X.
game again.
I didn't. So I have no idea how this works. I deleted all the save. I deleted everything. And it popped around halfway through the game. So who the hell knows
Clearly optimized.
where it stores its collectible data.
And that's the kind of optimization that I want to see.
And then the big thing I wanted to test for Kenny and everyone
Yes.
else around the world was prominence poker.
Oh,
So before I did this on the 1X. I timed how long it took to get in, and it took about 3 minutes. Doesn't sound that long, but when you're sitting there at a loading screen, it's terrible.
No, sounds long.
3 minutes
terrible.
is a long time.
So I booted it up, and it took 3 minutes.
No, it didn't.
So I said, so the next morning, this was, don't forget, now it's like 1 a.m. So I said to Fug the next morning, I'm like, dude, you lied. You said it takes like 30 seconds, and it took 3 minutes. And he's like, dumbass, did you move it from your external to your internal? I'm like, no.
I was just about to say, wait a minute. I know it's faster.
No, I had it on my external like a dumbass. So yes, that does take infinitely less time to load now. It is wonderful, Kenny.
Yeah, I guess to jump ahead to one of the games that I have been playing, we did. I played Prominence Poker with Vulgar Latin, Fug, Matt Cam, and Mental Knight, and then eventually Jay Black joined us. And I forget what exactly it was that happened, but Fug, he has the Series X, and he had to restart the game for some reason. I can't remember why. And basically, he's just like, all right, guys, I got to restart the game. I got out. And then he's just like, all right, and go. He starts the game, and like 30 seconds later, he's back into our poker game. Like, he could close it out, and he completely reloaded the game, logged into our game, and was playing. And it's just like, dude,
Everyone else rage quit.
I would still be at like the title screen for another, like you said, 3 minutes, just sitting there waiting for the stupid game to load. Which, once again, we've always talked about why those load times are so long. We always thought it was a server. Maybe their servers were just bad. No, so apparently with this, it's all just the game. It's taking that long to load. What is it loading? There's nothing to that game.
Cards.
It's the Unreal Engine. It's got to load the Unreal Engine.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Halo, Gears.
This is poker. It may turn into
Call
a
of
gunfight.
Duty.
You just never know.
It all loads so much faster than that. All it is just a couple of avatars sitting around the table playing cards. I don't understand why that game takes so long to load.
Yeah, so I had heard some rumors that there was some drinky going on during that game, but no one would really tell me what happened. So I only surmised that what happens in fake Vegas stays in fake Vegas.
Yes, we can't tell you.
I assume it was you, Kenny.
Oh yeah, it was totally me. I was totally
You
the
should
one
start,
drinking.
man. You'll be a lot happier.
He was drunk on tap water from his cup.
If you're gonna put something in that dirty cup, it should be vodka and water, not just water.
Okay, well, let's continue off of that. We only need to talk about the cleanliness of my drinking vessels.
Wow.
It's not too many cups. You need a tetanus shot after drinking out of.
Dude, Dundalk Tap, what do you expect? You understand that. Okay, Nate. Now, last week, you said, when we were talking on the show, you had a plan on what you were going to do with the Series X.
Absolutely.
We signed off, and about 10 minutes later, I saw in chat that you completely broke that plan and you went and did something else.
I did.
How has your experience been?
Foolishly forgot what I said half an hour before and went ahead and played something completely different. So I said I would play Ori, and instead I played Bright Memory.
You emphatically said you were going to play Ori.
realized what I had done, and so I stopped.
Oh.
And I loaded up Ori and did the update and all that fun stuff. And my goodness, is that thing beautiful. Now, I don't know if it looks the same as it did on my, my 1X, but it sure doesn't look like my memory of the game. It is
that could be on
super
your memory
pretty.
too.
Your bright memory.
Super pretty, super fluid. Man, it's just so good. So then I went and I loaded up Ori Remastered, just to test the hot switching or the quick switching. So I'm flipping back and forth, and I went back to Bright Memory, and the quick resume was perfect. It's fast. So I was just going from thing to thing. So, but yeah, going back to Bright Memory, this is a game. I think it's by a single developer, and it makes sense. The game does look good, if you want to call it a game. It is more like a tech demo or just a demo of a game.
Really?
And the thing that kind of threw me off at the beginning was the menu system. It is set up like you're using a keyboard and a mouse. So when you go to navigate the menu, you're moving a cursor with your left thumbstick to choose, new game or whatever, or choose the options. And then when you're in the game and you're upgrading or looking at your inventory or whatever, you're basically moving a mouse with your stick, so you're not, it's just weird. It doesn't seem like a native Xbox game. But the game is interesting. Like I said, it's more of a tech demo. You're kind of running around and you've got a couple different weapons. You have some like psychic abilities. You can do like a force push. You can do like a knife slam. And it takes about maybe 45 minutes to beat the game the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really short. Like I said, it's basically it's a concept game. Now, to get all the achievements, you're going to have to beat the game 3 times on the same save. Not a big problem. As you're killing the stuff, you're getting experience, which you can then use to buy new abilities. So your second and third playthrough will be faster. I think there are 7 collectibles in the game, and it doesn't matter if you get them in one run or across all 3 runs. And then there's 1 achievement for air juggling an enemy. And you're probably not going to figure that out. And actually, I think you need all the abilities or most of the abilities in order to do that. So you probably won't get that one until your 3rd run through the game. I have not done it yet. I still haven't beaten the game. I'm at the end boss right now. And I just haven't beaten it. And then as soon as I do that, it's 2 more laps through the game. I have to find all the collectibles. I think I'm missing 1, maybe 2. And then I have to do this thing where I air juggle for 15 seconds. But once that's done, the game is done. That's my first native, Series X completion. And it's okay. The game was $8.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for you to get to the price. I mean, if it's a tech demo and $8 for, there's your launch title.
Yeah,
you can't complain that much, right?
No, it's $8. I'm not going to complain too much about that. It was good to see some of the horsepower of the game or the system. It doesn't feel great. The game, it felt okay. I can tell you to pick it up at $4, I would, but $8, it's not horrible. Whatever. But yeah, I was excited because I'm playing a brand new thing on the console and I didn't pay $60 to do it. So that in my mind is okay. So yeah, it's a thing. It's kind of pretty.
You're talking about it being a tech demo. I wonder if it's because it really is basically a demo because I see here there's a Bright Memory Infinite. So I wonder if that is kind of like, not necessarily a tech demo. What am I trying to say? Like a prelude to it, or
I don't think they're related.
I got the feeling.
I don't know. Just a guess.
Yeah, well, from everything I saw in the game, it did seem like they could add on to it, or maybe this is like a a prequel to like this other game that this person is building, or this studio is building. I'm pretty sure it was one person. I don't think I'm making that up.
So I was watching the trailer. If that's one person, wow. That's pretty good for one person.
Yeah.
This game looks really good.
Yeah,
I would call it a game. I would love to hear someone else talk about it when they check it out, but yeah.
So are you going to pick it up?
Come April when I'm able to get the console, I'll tell you about it.
Are you going to pick it up, El? Cheap game to test your brand new console that you've been complaining about?
No.
Oh, okay.
That sounds about right.
$8, a little too much, a little too pricey.
Well, a great way to test the system is to put Forza Horizon 4 on there,
which is literally free with Game Pass.
Pretty.
I mentioned to Kush in the Discord. I thought it was pretty cool. There was an update or like a day one patch for it, but instead of saying installing, it said upgrading, which I thought was pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat.
I tried to play it off of my external, and it said, do upgrade or some other option. It was late, and I was just like, whatever. It's like, just do the thing. so it downloaded and upgraded, and then I went to go play it, or my daughter went to go play it, and it looked great. I was like, oh man, it definitely upgraded. But then today, I was going through on my Xbox. I was like, I want to see what that thing did. Sure enough, it installed a brand new version on the internal, and it left the old version on an external.
Huh.
I don't know if you can play that old version as it is.
That's weird.
I probably should have tested to see if I could do that to play the old version. But I basically just said, you know what, that's a waste of space. So I just started cleaning things up. It's actually on 2 externals. I don't know why that was. There were add-ons that were on one external, and there was the main game, which was on the other external. I just cleaned all that stuff up and installed everything internally just so it looks good. But
I can only imagine how good that game looks, because
it looks real.
On my OG Xbox One with the TCL TV, that game looks amazing. That's one of the best looking games I've ever played.
Well, here's my
on
recommendation.
The Series X, especially if you have a really nice TV that can handle the 4K 120 blah blah blah, that game has got to be breathtaking.
My recommendation is to let yourself get old, get bad eyesight, stand far back from the TV, like while you're eating lunch, and man, it looks real. It was so real.
Well, I don't know if I need to get old to have the bad eyesight. These glasses are pretty thick.
I mean, do you see the font size on his monitor? I can read it from here.
He's not wrong.
That was
just kidding, Fufu.
That was pretty sad though, Nate. Seeing I had those same X's that you did on the 120 during the install.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was saying. There's not a huge.
I'm sure there's
reason
not, but just seeing those,
don't have that. I mean, you got load times, but
oh yeah,
and you can play right memory, and I can't. But
hey.
All right, you know what? I am going to get it now, just so I can tell you how great it is.
I did not get a single.
I'll take that bet.
Forza could not load.
Yo, throw me $8.
That used to happen all the time. I'd load up Forza 4. My daughter wanted to play Forza 4 or Horizon 4. Would not start like 3 times in a row.
Really?
Restart the Xbox and it would start just fine.
What do you mean? Like this game took too long to load?
Yes, this game took too long to load.
Interesting.
Doesn't happen with the X.
That's odd. I've never had that issue.
Yeah. Now I go to pick up the controller. It's like it's already played. And it's like we knew.
All right. Well, Corey, what have you been up to?
Well, I've once again wandered into the strange world of brand new games that can be very niche, and this game has been out for just a week now, so it's still new, but it still only has 22 tracked gamers, so a very small amount of gamers, and I don't expect it to really take off, if you will. Yeah, and by that, I'm talking about the game Liftoff Drone Racing. And it's pretty funny that you guys mentioned Forza, because I did a review for this for Xbox Tavern, and my base sentence to describe the game is Forza, but with drones. So like think you're like simulation racing with drones, and if you didn't think that existed before, well, you're in the same boat as me, because I didn't either, and it is nuts. So you start off and you go through these tutorials, and like you're going through with assist mode and stuff, and that was tough. And then they're like, okay, now turn assist mode off, and like that gets tougher. And you don't have to, but you can choose whichever scheme you want. But so far I cannot complete the tutorials because I'm on this full simulation module. I have to be near the end and I can't beat it. So I've moved on. I did some of the career stuff. So far, it's not making me win games, luckily, because flying a drone is hard. But when you get into the actual simulation part, you can change out the blades and add weights and change the body. And you can even turn the battery on. And like some of the races will have pit stops where you need to recharge your battery, or you might have to fix something. I don't know. I didn't get to that, but I did see it there. And so, yeah, the game looks pretty. It's expensive. It's like $35.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, and so it's fun, but it's very hard to wrap your head around it. I think that's coming from somebody who doesn't know the drone world. I've never really flown a drone. So to take that for what it's worth, maybe it will like click to those kind of people. But It was difficult, and I even tried finding an online match because there is multiplayer in this game, but there was nobody there. So it's 22 track gamers. I'm sure there's probably not more than 50 worldwide people with it, you know. So that was to be expected. Definitely a boostable game, it seems like, or at least I'm going to be trying it with Quick. He messaged me, and he seems to get all these games that are pretty niche. So I think we're going to try to boost the online bit, but yeah, it's going to be tough.
You're enjoying this game?
What's that?
You're enjoying it?
I mean,
was
oddly,
Xbox Tavern
yes.
out of other games?
No, this was the
You wanted this one?
the cream of the crop of the from the pool I picked from. You know, I like to keep my hands busy, so I don't lay low for too long. And there's always like the easy games, the quick games, but who wants those when you can play more expensive games and try out games you would never buy for yourself, right?
Right.
Right. You would never lay out $35 for this game, but
I would never give $35 for a
$3.
drone simulator.
Right.
The game looks cool.
But yeah, it's very beautiful. I like the levels and the scenery, and even the drones. It's just as fun as you might imagine it. But when it comes to actually maneuvering, especially racing, it's pretty tough.
I'm actually sending this to a friend right now because he has
You're mean.
He has a couple of drones. He's got one massive, like a Hollywood quality drone that he uses for videos. He does that on the side, so this is something that I'm sure he would like.
Yeah, one of the achievements is for playing with each of the drones. It actually says collecting, but if you just go to like free play mode, you can pick from all of them and just go down the list and do and get that achievement, which is what I did. There's at least 15 to 20 different like makes and models, which I can only assume are real makes and models of drones.
Probably.
Now, I did recognize a drone game before, and looking at it, a drone game came out in September called the Drone Racing League Simulator.
Oh.
Not the same publisher, not the same developer, anything like that. So 2 drone games, in the past 2 months have come out. That one's only $10. So maybe if you want to dip your toes, try that one. Nobody's completed that one yet either, so I'm guessing it's just as brutally hard. So take your pick. But if you are a drone enthusiast, you got some games coming your way.
Sounds like we need a new genre on TA. Jordan.
The genres right now are like arcade racing and aerial. But
That's
I'll be damned
different.
if we get a drone genre before a lawnmower genre.
We need both.
Because I am all over mowing and throwing and what's that other? Grass cutters. I really liked grass cutters.
Grass cutters wasn't bad.
We just need one more, and I think we can match the bull riding genre.
I feel like there was another grass cutting game, but I can't remember at this point.
I don't think so. Bull Sports has 3 though, so I'm by that definition, I'm going by a minimum of 3 needed. So I'm going to shoot for lawnmower. Maybe I'll make my own lawn mowing game just to make that genre, and then I'll have 100% in that leaderboard.
All right, L. I see here that
I need to talk to Corey.
Oh,
Hello.
Okay, fine. I'll just step aside. Go ahead. You two talk.
Now, as noted last week by Corey, the game Tracks left Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
So we both needed to finish up the game. I actually needed to finish the base game as well as the DLC. I gotta tell you, this did not take me 0 to 1 hours.
Who would have guessed?
It didn't take me 1 to 2 hours.
How?
That stupid mode with the passengers.
Is not difficult.
It's not. Once I got the hang of it, it wasn't. And
I think, if I remember correctly, once you figure out that you can reset that dang train, it's a lot easier, and you can put it wherever you want.
yeah, and I knew that. If you watch the
even
video,
worse.
you see them
Never
building
mind.
tracks and stuff. That probably would have been quicker. Then I kept putting down the car, and then it would kept falling off the table, or it'd fall off the couch. It would just and the passengers would get in, and then I don't know, something wouldn't spawn. Oh my gosh, it just took way too long. I eventually figured it out. I was at a party with MDP, and he was laughing at me. I'm like, all right, it's time for the DLC. And he said, "Oh, I just did that recently. You got to look at the solutions. Our good friend Alex R. Davies wrote some of the solutions, and they're like essays."
No, they're not essays.
Yeah, shockingly, yes. He's like, go to the 6th column and the 22nd item.
Hey,
That sounds like
that's
him.
helpful.
It is helpful, but
Yeah.
If you're not going to watch a video, which we've had that discussion, I
yeah.
prefer text guides.
Wait, you used a
And
text guide for this?
oh, absolutely.
I did both.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
did
really?
both.
I much prefer text guide so I can. It gives me the illusion that I'm doing it on my own.
There was one, so I was like, I wanted to pay
What?
pay
Don't
homage to Alex's guides because they are well written. He uses the face buttons in there and everything, so I like them. There was
Alex's
one,
guides. Ha 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 ha.
There was one that you have to recreate the moon landing. It has nothing to do with the game as far as laying down track. You just have to put decorations in a certain order, and I couldn't quite figure it out. So I watched the video on it. I think it turned out to be pretty stupid on my part, but his guide is spot on for that once I figured that out.
Yeah, that took me a few tries.
Yeah, I think I was
I had the
missing
camera
to get
turned the wrong
2
way.
astronauts. I was just doing one.
Yeah, the camera, you have to flip the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst part was coming back to that DLC. I mean, it had been months since I touched the game. I was like, I know that there's a way to switch this thing and go back to the thing, and it was horrible. It took me like 10 minutes to remember or to relearn how to move the train.
The DLC itself took me 25 minutes. The longest being the 10 seconds of airtime on the moon, because I went through it like 3 times. Like, that's not high enough. That's not high enough. I had to keep doing that over and over.
I feel like I'm the only person that actually didn't hate this game.
Well, you are the youngest, so you're probably the least removed from these actual toys. Sans playing with them with a kid.
Yeah, hate is a strong word.
It's just very slow.
Things we do for achievements.
Yeah, just looking at my friends list, it's split probably 2/3 of the people did the DLC, and then the other third just got the completion. Some people less than. I'm looking at you, Dinoble, and they just didn't get the DLC, which was only a few bucks and pretty good TAD, which is why I did it, as well as leaving Game Pass. But actually, Fufu, you didn't do the DLC, you dummy.
I did not do the DLC.
Why?
Honestly,
Silly.
I just didn't.
Silly.
I kind
foo-foo.
of never thought. I just didn't think about it. It wasn't like on the ready to install, or not ready to install. It wasn't installed on my Xbox, so it's like out of sight, out of mind as I'm going through all the games.
Tis.
So yeah, never did the DLC.
Now
was
that
actually-
said, if they do bring back more DLC, I will not be buying the game just to play it.
How much is the game? Let's see, $20. Wow.
What?
Yeah, game is $20.
Yeah,
What?
that's I'm sorry. It looks good. Not worth $20.
Or you can get the toy box bundle for $21.49.
All right, sold.
Yeah, I honestly was not expecting that to be $20. I was thinking that was like a $12 game.
Yeah, we were a little afraid with it at first because the developers seemed like they were going to be doing more DLC. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that that's going to happen with achievements. So yeah, I'll just have to leave that one as incomplito if that happens.
Yeah. So, Trax was actually. You have the page up. What's the TAD on there right now?
TAD
Or the TA?
With
Sure,
DLC.
altogether.
With the DLC is 2102 right now, and 1500 gamer score.
Yeah. See, it's not that bad for an
No.
easy game. Yeah, I definitely did that. It was perfect for GTASC this week.
Yeah, the DLC alone, even if that's all you're going back to just to get it off, was 400 TAD. So
Yeah, DLCs and title updates are worth more than they used to be. Yeah, speaking of GTASC and bad games that I wish I never did. So
Wow.
I noticed, or Michelle noticed that I was dipping kind of low on the solo side. So I noticed some of my other friends were doing this, so I had to succumb to peer pressure. But I booted up Castle of No Escape, and wow, that is actually an easy completion.
Isn't
that
that
game-
one of the new games where it's like you do nothing and get 1,000?
You do nothing, get 1,000, and then you do even less nothing and get a title update worth, at the time it was like 800 TAD, and now it's like 5 something that I'm looking at it. All you have to do is
Total TAD is 555.
Yeah. But it saved me from being eliminated. Yeah, you just you walk around and fight some guys, and the game looks like it was made 30 years ago, because it probably was.
That it does.
And the title updates are just for visiting the different floors.
This
And
game
I
is
kept-
$3. Wow, I did not know it was that cheap.
And I kept trying to go up the staircases, not realizing that if you went down the staircase, you could just go right to the the 5th or 6th floor. Yeah. If I'd known that, it would have been even quicker. But yeah. Let me talk about one game that was actually somewhat decent. Goosebumps. I talked about it last week, that I'd started it up, and it was very confusing. And I concur with myself that it's very confusing.
Oh,
It's very much fan service. I mean, a love letter to Shadowgate. This game is just like Shadowgate, right from the texts and just the type of game it is, the atmosphere, the deaths. It's very much like Shadowgate, but it's supposed to be for little kids. The only problem is I could not figure out anything of what I had to do, and they give you so many unnecessary items that it's just insane.
so you couldn't figure out a game meant for little kids.
Correct. So I went through this game simul style with Michelle, and I had played my first playthrough with my son, and there's a point in the guide that says save here, so you can reload from the save, and you have to do like 2 or 3 different playthroughs. But the collectibles and such save between plays and between playthroughs, so it's very weird. Nothing tracks; it just kind of keeps track of all your collectibles and decisions that you make. So there's one achievement where you have to beat it, I believe, in less than 175 moves. And sure enough, Michelle popped it and I didn't. So I reloaded the save and tried again, and it still didn't pop. So I had to start all over.
Rip.
And I found a speed run on YouTube that was 7 minutes, but it was the PC version, and you could just mash on things. Point and click games were meant to be played on the PC. That's why it's called PNC. Did you know that, Kenny?
I did.
So I got that done. Once again, if you didn't know, we're doing point and click games for Chewie's completely craptastic challenge.
There it is. It's about right.
I believe What the Fug and MDP are destroying everyone. So at this point, I'm just picking a few to focus on.
You mean your RTDL list is picking a
My
few for you to
RTDL?
focus on?
Yes. Yeah, the month got away from me. I don't think I'm going to be able to complete too many. I'm focusing on the Journey Down games because they're short. And there's one other that caught my eye that I think Nate's going to talk about. Possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I'll talk about a game.
Yeah, talk about it, Nate.
Okie dokie. So I have not been playing a whole lot this month. And then I realized, you know what? I haven't really competed in a Chewie's Casserole Challenge in quite a while. So I said what I really need to do is put up at least one game. And I was super excited for the point and clicks that entered Game Pass about a week or two back. Those being Full Throttle, Day of the Tentacle, and Grim Fandango. And I wanted to play one of them, and I said, you know what? I played a little bit of Day of the Tentacle, I think. I beat Full Throttle Remastered. I'm going to save that for the last because I really enjoyed that. I know nothing about Grim Fandango. I'm going to go for that one. So I pulled it up and I started playing. And of course, there's one achievement for, Tim made us do it, which is to play the game with tank controls. Now, if you don't know what tank controls are because you are youngin.
Yeah, I don't know what tank controls are.
Okay.
I do.
So imagine, if you will, a time in history where as you're playing games, the way you move around the level is left or right rotates you left, clockwise or counterclockwise. Then to move forward, you push forward. It doesn't matter which way you're facing. Forward on the D-pad or on the control stick moves you in the direction that you're facing. So imagine you're trying to run down a hallway and you're pushing forward and you're just kind of like using left or right to kind of move you around. If you have to make a sharp 90-degree turn, you stop you hold right, you wait for your guy to shimmy, over 90 degrees to the right, and then you push forward again. It's very awesome. It's not great. It's not great for playing these games. I believe that the remastered version allows you just to walk naturally around the level. And that sounds so good. Now, I'm trying not to play this game too many times. I never played it before, so I don't know the solutions. What I would recommend doing, but I also don't want to ruin the game for myself. I want to have fun and play this thing. So I'm trying not to use a guide. The nice thing about this is that the game is broken up into 4 days, or 4 years, sorry. And so I think what I'm going to do, my strategy is to, number one, this is a double fine game. So I love the humor. And like I said, it's from back in the day, Double Fine, so it's hilarious. And basically, I want to play it. I want to experience it. I don't want to ruin it with a guide. So what I'm going to do is save at the very beginning of every year. Play through it mostly naturally without, if I get stuck, I'm not going to beat my head on the wall too much. I'll look maybe at the achievement name or the description of it to be like, oh, that's what I need to do. So I've already started doing that. I'm pretty much at the end of the first year, I think, about 15 minutes from the end. And I've already missed one thing, so I'm going to have to play the first year again to get an achievement that I missed because it was a conversation. Some of the conversation achievements are just exhaust all options. And then there's 1 or 2 that are, you need to use the correct options or else you'll miss this achievement. Which is kind of frustrating that, you could basically dialogue trees. I hate dialogue trees where you lock yourself out of an achievement or lock yourself out of something. I don't want to have to deal with that, but that's what happens. I locked myself out of an achievement because one of those options is no longer there. The person is gone. I can't talk to him again. So I have to do that over again. So the way I'm going to combat that moving forward is save at the beginning of every year. At least that way I don't have to do a full playthrough. If I miss something in the fourth year, I can just start, my 4th year save again. So, but yeah, it's fun. Really liking it. I'm going to get that tank controls one out of the way right from the start. And then, I don't know. Should I play the game to see what it would have been like if I didn't use the tank controls?
I was actually just
at least the first year.
Not.
No, you probably should.
Yeah, I don't think I should. I don't think I want to know that.
Don't ruin your experience.
Yeah, well, yeah, Fufu's right. Since I have to do the first year over again, maybe. But
exactly. You
I
have
probably
to
get
do
it
the
in
first
20
year
minutes.
again, so you might as well experience it in all of its remastered glory.
Yeah. Now, one of the things that's a little bit frustrating about it is that there's no way to, most of these games have a way for you to see what everything that's interactable in the screen is. Like, if you're on a PC, you could just mouse over things and you would see, oh, that's a hotspot. That's a hotspot. But the controller, there's no way to tell. So you're just kind of walking around. So the clues for this game are, what is the main character looking at? As you're walking through a room, he'll kind of like his eyes will latch on to something that's interactable. And like as he walks by it, he'll kind of keep his head on it, kind of track it, and then you can be like, oh, well, I can go press on that. And the other nice thing is as you go to hit A to interact with something, he'll kind of move over to it and do whatever he has to do. But yeah, no, it's a fun game. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to getting through and this one and getting at least 1 point on the board because I really want to win that casserole. So
that would be a good one. Yeah, maybe that's just a sign of the times. Right before recording, I tried out another favorite of Corey's, Trooper Brook. That game, you hold down, I believe, the left bumper, and you could see all the hot spots. So that's a welcome thing in newer point and clicks, so you don't miss anything.
Yeah, that's a Corey point and click. I think that was probably one of my highlights of the game.
Sometimes the environment, you miss something or another, and you'll just be stuck.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go now. Everybody keeps talking about all these new games that they've been playing, and I've played this, a new game as well. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of this, but it's a little game called Gears of War. Not Gems of War, it's not Gears of War.
Is this a puzzle game?
Sort of, kind of. But yeah, so I can't remember if I've said this on the podcast or if I said this just in normal party chats, but this has always been one of those games, well, the entire series, has always been one of those things where it's like I've never played them, not for any real reason. I've just never played them. I always just played Halo or Call of Duty, just never gotten to Gears of War. And it's also one of those games where I've tried it multiple times to play, and every single time I go to play it, I do the same thing. I start the game up from scratch because I don't remember where I was, and I play a little bit to the point when you get to the first Berserker, and I go, all right, I'm kind of done for now. I'll continue later. This seems like a good stopping point because, hey, look, it looks like there's about to be a boss fight. And then I never come back to it. Well, Saturday, Brooke was out. The boys were at a friend's house or whatever. So it's like, all right, I got a couple hours to myself. I'm going to play Gears of War this time, and I'm going to play it until it's complete. And I did so. I completed Gears of War for the first time. What is that? 14 years later, finally got around to this game.
So I'm looking at your profile. You played the 360 version, right?
Yeah, I just played the 360 version.
One, it's kind of blowing my mind. Like, well, it's kind of not really. Like, you only have 9 achievements, 2 of which you did not get a couple days ago. So that basically means you just ran through the game as quick as you could. No collectibles, which is fine. I'm more curious as to why you played the 360 version and not the remastered version or whatever. So
the idea was I wanted to play it how it was when it came out. A couple of days ago, I know, El, you brought it up to our Thursday night crew that you were talking about maybe playing Gears or something like that. So I'm like, well...
Right, the remastered Gears Ultimate.
Exactly. So it's like, if we want to play that, I'll experience it then. I'd rather just play the 360 version, see what it was that I've been missing all these years.
Okay, I see.
So I have a lot of questions.
And also because, I did start it. So I'm like, let me at least try to, continue on this version. As far as the achievements go, yeah, I didn't really get much because a lot of the achievements are in multiplayer. Mm-hmm. Basically, all of the campaign achievements is beating every level on casual, beating every level on hardcore, beating every level on insane, and then every other and then there's a few of them that's not actually multiplayer or anything like that, and it's like performing perfect active reloads, which I've gotten both of those. And then like another 3 achievements is collecting 1/3 of the cog tags, 2/3 of the cog tags, and finding them all, which I think I got 9 cog tags, so I missed 1 to get an achievement. I wasn't going through it with a guide.
Wow, Kenny, I got lots of questions.
I figured you would. Well, actually, before you ask anything, Nate and Corey, have you guys played this?
Gears of War?
Yeah.
Gears of War. Yes.
Okay, I was just wondering. I didn't know if this was something you just completely glossed over.
I did not do much in multiplayer, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I did much of the 360 one, but I picked up the Ultimate Edition when it was remastered, and I did. I'm kind of looking at my achievements now. I apparently did not finish it, but I did play Gears of War 4.
Okay.
Without playing the other 3.
Stop it.
It's kind of really, man.
Go ahead.
I don't even have the achievement for finish playing a versus ranked match. Because this was, at the time I did this was like, I'm going to play by myself. Why would I go online and play against people? And I didn't have a crew to run through and do any of the, insane or whatever. Although that would be kind of fun to do now, but
I just do not like the gameplay. Like third person's fine, but you just feel like so clunky. You can't really run, and I don't like it.
So that actually brings up one of my thoughts from this game. Sorry, y'all.
I'm just mad at Corey.
No, it's not that. I actually really enjoy the gameplay. Like, let me just throw that off the bat. I really like the game, and I'm really mad at myself I never played it sooner. I loved it. I thought it was great. But it's funny because, I played on casual. I just wanted to complete the game. I just wanted to get the experience. This was one of those games that's in the backlog, and I just wanted to get it done just so I can experience it. That's why I played on casual. And, when you play on easy mode in Halo, you feel like this super soldier badass that just runs down Covenant and nothing can stop you. That's not like this in Gears of War. Like, Marcus Phoenix is a badass, but he is not this unstoppable super soldier like the Master Chief is. I died a lot.
On casual.
Like, there is a lot of times where it's
Really?
just like, I'll be good to go, and I just run out. I'm like, I just want to cut someone with the Lancer, and then there's like two guys that I didn't see that shoot me, and I die.
Well, even on casual, you still have to use the cover.
You do.
Yeah. Like, you can't run out there.
Which
You
I just
have to use the cover.
I didn't realize that. Like I said, I was just expecting, it's the easiest difficulty. I just blow through this game. It's no big deal. I'm decent at shooters. I could do this. Nah, you still got to utilize that cover system.
This was the cover shooter. I mean, this, if I remember correctly, this is like what started cover shooters.
I believe
sure.
so. I would imagine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine anything else really.
So that's why cover is important. Like, you need to take cover.
Yeah, I mean, this game came out in 2006, so...
Yeah. Go ahead, Al. What's your first question?
I'm just dumbfounded by this whole thing. So, I was actually going to make a point that playing this game on casual is completely different from playing this game on insane.
I don't know. I don't know how anyone would be able to beat this on insane.
For the
it's
most
easy.
part,
One
I
person
know-
plays on casual.
I know
No,
about
no,
the.
no. You don't do that in this game.
I know about the workaround. I know that one person.
I don't think you
play
can do
on
that in the
casual.
first game here.
Oh, we shall find out.
So, yes, I'm just laughing because I got the achievement for completing the tutorial in November of 2006, and then you did it in October of 2018.
Yeah, which that doesn't seem right because I've played this before. I must have been like on like a friend's profile or something like that because I remember I have played it with friends.
This was one of the first 360 games I ever played,
Right.
and it just
I
made
know
me fall in
you
love with
and,
the
like,
console.
Michelle are big Gears people.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you can usually just hold down the B button and chainsaw everyone to death. Like, I'm surprised that you had so much trouble.
Don't get it out to be like, oh, I just barely beat this game. Like,
Now, remind me, when you go down, does the computer revive you?
no.
Really?
I don't... In the Ultimate Edition, they definitely did.
Well, that's nice. And
Really?
this, no. If you went down, you had to restart from the checkpoint
Oh. Every time?
every time.
Maybe that was the problem. All right.
Yeah, like
Usually you get revived.
Right,
Yeah.
because, I mean, going
Not
down and
insane.
restarting a checkpoint is
that
like
must have been
a
an
difficulty
ultimate
modifier.
On
remaster
insane,
thing.
you don't.
Yeah, no. In this, on the 360 version, if you go down in the campaign, you restart from a checkpoint.
Okay. Screw you, Dom. Hope nothing bad ever happens to you, jerk. So,
Well, I was also about to say I have been completely unspoiled by this game.
good. You're still unspoiled.
I know nothing about the game. I don't know how, but I've avoided all spoilers for it.
All I have to say is that Cole is amazing in that game, right?
Yeah, woo! Bring it on, sucker! That's my kind of shit.
Cole is amazing.
Oh my god, Cole is one of my favorite characters
yeah,
in any
Cole is
video game.
hilarious.
Who's Cole?
Coltrane.
Woo woo!
Do you know about Terry Tate,
I know about...
the football player during those commercials that tackles everyone?
Yeah,
the office linebacker?
Office quarterback. Yeah, office linebacker. There you go.
Yeah, that's his voice. Pretty sure.
Oh, you got to go watch
I know
some
Terry
videos.
Crews.
You'll have to look that up. I'm pretty sure
Look
that's his
up
voice.
The Coltrane
Maybe I'll be
rap.
wrong.
I was mostly trying to get a rise out of Elle. But
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're doing the role of Kenny where you dismiss something I like.
basically...
You guys are the same.
Trust me, it makes no sense why I'm an Xbox gamer because Halo doesn't do it for me and Gears of War doesn't do it for me, nor does
You
Forza
need-
really.
You guys should have maybe should have played it co-op. Like this game is great in co-op.
I enjoyed
I can
Gears of
see
War
that.
4.
No, 4 is not good. 4 doesn't have a good story or good characters.
It was
1 is
okay.
the best.
Yeah, I am totally going to play the series in order. I'll play 1, 2, 3, Judgment, 4, and then 5.
Well,
Are you
Prue
playing? Do you have a
said,
group?
Yeah, Prue said he'll do the campaign with you on Ultimate.
Yeah, I'm up for doing it on Ultimate. I do want to play it by myself just because that's just the way I play games.
So, one little tip for the cog tags if you don't want to use a guide. Whenever there's one nearby, you see that red logo.
Yeah, I did
know
notice
about
that as I was going through. I'm like, so I was kind of trying to look out for the logo.
What do you call that?
And I got it when I saw it. But,
okay.
Is the online still active in that version?
I bet you it is. People trying to get seriously, yo.
I didn't
Legit.
even load it up. So here's the thing. Like I said, I kind of wanted to just play it. That way it gets off the backlog and I experience it, blah, blah, blah. So while I was trying to get as many achievements as I can, I also wasn't like, all right, got to get all the cog tags as I go through the campaign. You know what I mean? And also because I just assumed this is going to need to be a game that I'm never going to complete because, I could be completely wrong. I didn't look it up. There might be a whole bunch of people that still need seriously and would be willing to boost this. But I just kind of assumed that anyone that wanted to complete this has already done it, so...
I don't know. It's worth 250 TAD. I don't know where I can get that in 20 hours or more.
Yeah, there's some multiplayer achievements that you can get that are not seriously.
Right.
There's plenty of other stuff you can get.
Like, I wouldn't mind doing it, but at the same time...
Yeah, don't do it.
I have, like, what is it? 2, 3... I have 5 more Gears games I need. Well, 6, including Tactics, that I want to play.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say one cool little feature. I once helped a friend who was missing one cog tag and he couldn't find it, so I went through the whole game with him. If you're the second player and you've already collected all the cog tags, you can still see the one that the other person's missing.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is really cool. Yeah, so if you're playing on Insane,
totally
you have to be using the cover and long range weapons.
Yeah.
But there's
or
3
playing with other people.
There's like 3 or 4 different spots where you can't revive each other. Those are the hard parts. Every other part, at least if one person goes down, you can revive them. But there's 3 or 4 parts where you get separated from the other person. You must know what I'm talking about since you just played it.
Yeah,
one person goes where you can choose to go left or right. Those type of places.
Yeah, that was an interesting design choice in the game. I will say one of the coolest things about the game that I absolutely love is the active reload.
Yeah. I think you do it.
That's a really cool feature that I haven't seen in any other game, which is kind of surprising.
All right, so real quick, how did the graphics hold up?
Not good.
They're good.
They're not bad.
I was going to say they're not bad. I mean, it's a 14-year-old game, so I'm not going to say, oh my God, it's amazing.
If you play Rainbow Six Vegas or Graw, those look terrible. I think Gears still looks good.
I haven't played Graw in a very long time, so now I'm curious. But yeah, I mean, the graphics aren't terrible. They're not.
They're good.
This game was definitely ahead of its time.
And I will say, I just kind of did some quick maths, and this is not a math podcast, but there's like 30-ish people who have gotten Seriously 1.0 or whatever. Seriously, I guess is what it's called, in like the past 3 months. So apparently it's still gettable. People are still getting it.
Yeah, I know it's still active. Like, you can get it. I just don't know how active the multiplayer is.
No, I'm sure it's all boosted.
I can't imagine it's not just boosting.
A lot of these are, at least 2 people on the same day.
Sure, that's not a surprise.
Well, at this point, you may as well just move on to Ultimate Edition.
Nah, I'll play the Gears 2 from the 360.
All right, you could do that too, while boosting Gears 1 Ultimate Edition with us.
I want to play.
I want to get a group together.
Like I said, I want to be able to play the 360 version, see what it looked like then, and then go to the Ultimate Edition, see the remastered.
Right.
Just to kind of just be able to tell the difference.
You should play with one of your nephews, your actual nephews.
I thought about it.
Because Gears 3 is 4 players. It's so much fun co-op.
Yeah, that I can see. I would definitely be more inclined to do with 4-player co-op.
All right, I'm excited to play Gears.
Well, I guess we're not playing Zoo Tycoon anymore.
Bye.
If all goes according to plan, I'll be playing 2 Saturday. So more likely than not, I won't be playing 2 Saturday.
Yeah, you need to boot up Zoo Tycoon now, so we'll be ready for Thursday.
Ain't that the truth? I need a Series X. All right, let's continue on with the podcast.
Oh, speaking of Series X, the Halo optimization came out today.
Let me guess, it's just a teeny tiny download of a couple 100 megabytes or so.
I was going to say, now I have to move it from my external to my internal. It's another 100+ gigs. Ugh.
Well, I'll just go get an expansion drive. It's only $200. Who cares?
All right, done. I'll buy that, but not the $8 game.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is the most L thing I could think of. Don't support
It's
the
not
developer.
very bright.
Yeah, we're definitely continuing after that one. All right, so let's continue on. Real quick, if you have not seen it yet, Vulgar Latin has been streaming every Friday night, and he has been wanting to do like a community play thing. He's been doing Friday the 13th,
Poker.
There's another game before that. Jackbox. Thank you. That's the one I was thinking of. I knew there was more. And this Friday, so if you're listening on release day, which you should be doing, he's going to be booting up Halo to Master Chief Collection for some community play. He doesn't actually know what he's going to be doing yet, so it might just be multiplayer, or we might be able to get some custom games going depending upon who joins. So I would love to be able to get like 16 people together to play Griffball. That would be amazing. It would be chaos. Or to do some of the old Halo 3 custom games.
Real quick, without getting into it, what is Griffball?
Do you know what the gravity hammer is?
Yes.
Doubt.
Okay. Yeah. Basically, you have to take the bomb. Have you ever played the assault game mode?
Pass.
Okay, that's what I thought. There's a single bomb in the game, and there's 2 points. You have to attack and defend. You have to get the bomb and take it to the enemy bomb point, and it explodes.
Capture the
Griffball,
flag.
essentially. And Griffball, you play with the sword, the energy sword, and the gravity hammer. There's low gravity. You move extra fast, and it's just chaos. It's not like an actual map where there's buildings and hills and this and that. You play on a flat arena type like area, and it's just that. It's a lot of fun. Just look up a video on YouTube to get a better idea.
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
I know you're not going to do that. All right, so now the other question. Do you know why Griff and Halo go together?
No.
Ooh.
Go ahead, El.
I want you to tell me.
It's red versus blue.
Yay.
So wait, they had an impact on the game?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they did. That's why it's called
That's
that.
cool. No, it's not.
And they had an impact on Gears of War also.
They did?
Yeah, I've told you this before. There's an achievement called Is it a spider?
Yeah, I remember. I was just about
That
to
is
say it.
hardly an impact.
That is amazing. Man, you're being like Debbie Downer today. You're doing the Corey role.
People said to do impressions.
Kenny,
I'm being L.
Why are we even here?
You need to play Gears for fun.
Gears is not fun to begin with, so...
You're not fun to play with.
Yeah, you go play with your drones, jerk.
I will.
Okay. Hi, Nate.
All right.
That's me walking away.
Yeah, I don't like Halo.
Thank you.
Quiet
My
for
man.
20 minutes.
Thank you,
That's what he
mate.
says. All right. Let's also continue on from that.
Let's go play a platformer.
Yeah.
That sounds boring. Community questions. Corey, go ahead and read this off.
All right, so this is a question from Alex RD. He asks, when you've come across someone new and you look up their profile on TrueAchievements, what's the first thing you look at / what sets your first impressions? Do you go straight for gamer score, ratio, something different? Personally, while I clock the headline stats, the main thing I look at is the latest page of games in their game collection. What are the last 30 things they came close to spending their time playing, as an example. Unfortunately, his example is pretty much what I do. If I go and click on somebody, I pretty much just, well, the first thing I do is I go to their friend feed and I turn it to just them. And then I just kind of look and I scroll. And to be honest, I look at the dates. I'm like, are they an everyday gamer or are they sporadic? Like, I'm looking at Alex's profile now, and like he went like 4 days without getting an achievement. What's wrong with you, man? Maybe something's wrong with me. I don't know, but that's what I do.
Little of both.
I kind of want to see what they've been playing and how much they spend time playing video games. What about you? Any of you guys? Do you do that? You probably don't. I'm a people watcher in general. So
the first thing I do is look at their friends list. So I could, like, if it's someone I never heard of, is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, like, why is this person sending me a friend request? Who do they know? And usually there's some mutual friends. And then that's usually it. Remember back in the day on TA when people used to update their trophy case?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Do you know what a trophy case is?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to be into that stuff.
See, I don't use TA as like social media, so this question's a little lost on me. The only times I'm on TA is either show purposes or looking up a guide.
All right, so let me back the question up and change it just for you, Fufu. Why'd you ever come to TA? Like, what is its purpose for you?
Guides.
Okay, me too.
Yeah, so I originally joined TA because of the Z to Z podcast. Everybody in the podcast and in that community was just like, TA. So I'm like,
so
okay,
you found a
it's
podcast
free.
about achievements before the main achievement hunting site, right?
Yeah, right? Yep.
That makes sense. I didn't find that on TA in particular. I was already on TA. I was just looking for achievement podcasts, but okay, that checks out.
I just typed in Xbox in my podcast feed, and they popped up. And I saw achievement hunting. I'm like,
yeah.
check
Also,
this out.
based off of what I said, my answer was when I go to somebody's friend feed and I look for their achievements. I hate your profile because you have modified it to just show milestones to people, and I know why you've done it, but it's like I can never get a good sense on what you're doing quickly. I always have to go to your games. Like, that's where I saw you did Gears of War. I had to click into that. I'm like, geez.
I'll tell you what, after the show, remind me and I'll switch it just for you.
That's okay. I don't care that much.
Okay, then. But yeah, I got on the TA because of the Z to Z community, and I've never used it as a social media thing. I honestly don't much care what achievements other people have been unlocking. So all of those fancy tools are lost on me. If I do, I will say, however, I've done this sort of, but on like the actual Xbox. So I don't know if you guys ever used to do this or still do this, but like when you play a multiplayer game with someone, you click on their profile just to see how much gamer score you have or they have. I used to do that with a lot of people. And it's just like, oh, I wonder how much you have. And it's like, oh, and way back in the day, it's just like, oh my God, he has over 100,000 gamer score. How is that even possible? And now you can get it in
100,000 gamer score is
named after you.
Yeah, that's you have really made it, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. .ud foof. But yeah, like that's about as close to looking at someone else's profile that I've ever really gotten.
Well, thanks for asking. So the way I use TA, or the way I found TA was, for solutions, for getting achievements and all that fun stuff. And I don't really stalk people much, but if I do go to look at people, somebody new or whatever, somebody friends me and they're like, hey, what's up? If I do happen to go look at someone, I'll be looking at the games they've played recently. And then another thing I just noticed, it's not something I look for, but something I notice is, are they a completionist? You know, are they the type of person that is just like scattershot, they're just playing whatever? Or are they more of a focused gamer? And then like, okay, well, what are they focusing on? Are they just playing whatever garbage comes their way, or are they only playing like good games? So that's the sort of stuff that I end up noticing.
All right. Well, thank you for the question, Alex.
Definitely got to look at their gamer pick, right? And their avatar.
Oh yeah, I immediately
yeah.
judge somebody if they still have a 360 gamer pick.
What's my gamer pick?
The smiley face. Or the
No,
little
you've
panda
changed it. You
bear.
have like a donkey with an apple.
No, it's not a donkey. It's a saber-tooth moose lion cub.
It looks like a donkey. I know for the longest time, Wakapeil had his little dude holding up the world. I think that like messed up or something. He had to change it, but yeah, there's a couple people that still have those old gamer picks. I'm trying to find one now. I can't. Everybody's being a good boy and girl.
Okay. Well,
Probably Michelle.
Yeah, I was gonna say Michelle's the.
yeah, she still got hers.
Hers looks bigger. I don't know.
Her Beatles rock band
Old.
gamer pick.
I kind of miss getting gamer picks from games.
Yeah.
I miss Avatar Awards, but that's
Absolutely.
another
Yeah.
discussion.
That-
Yeah, I
too.
totally miss those awards.
That's something that I really wish they would bring back. Games that can actually utilize that kind of stuff. It's neat to have, but it just is completely lost on the Xbox One. You don't see them at all.
Maybe if we had Doritos Crash Course 3. But
I would love that.
anyways,
Hit the Twitters.
Well, with that, let's go to wheeling and dealing. Nate, you're the only one that has anything listed on this sheet. And I was going to put that same game on the sheet until I noticed that you had it. So go ahead and talk about this gem of a game.
Yeah, so we should probably mention that the sales aren't stunning this week, and that's probably because we're looking at Black Friday sales and fun end of the year sales coming up. At least let's
Sure.
hope. So the only thing I feel like mentioning that we haven't already mentioned previously, and we have mentioned this one before, but Vostok Inc. This is $6 down from $15. It is the very common mix-up of shmup and management. Very common genre combination.
Hundreds of games.
Yes. The shmup portion is actually really fun. And the
It's
management
so
isn't,
good.
the management isn't that management-y. It's also kind of a clicker game as well, a little bit. Where if you just sort of sit there and watch like your money accrues and then you can go spend it really quickly. So, yeah, it's a fun game. It's got, some fun humor to it. It takes about 15 to 20 hours according to TA. I have not completed it, but it is definitely fun. Definitely recommend it. At least check it out. Quality stuff.
It is a lot of fun. I know Nate and I have talked about this game quite a bit. But yes, like you said, go buy it. You'll enjoy it. If you like shoot 'em ups, you'll enjoy this game. Al?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those fun games you can just kind of chip away at. You don't have to play it. I mean, it's not like an Assassin's Creed. You're not going to lose the thread. It's just
No, definitely not.
It's fun to pick up.
Al, do you actually have
Yeah.
anything? I see yours is blank. But
My
you often don't
my
ever
mind
put
is
anything
always
down.
blank. The most obvious one that I see is the 8-floor strategic collection, where you have like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games for $5. I believe those are supposed to be pretty easy games. The Gnome's Garden games.
Yes. The
There's
Gnome's
4 of
Garden
those.
games.
4 Gnome's Gardens, D&D Through Time, Royal Roads, and Lost Artifact Soulstone.
They're all basically the Gnome's Gardens games.
Yeah, they're pretty much palette swaps, from what I understand.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe these were all mobile games.
that would make sense.
Are they easy to figure out if you're a dum-dum with strategy games like me?
100%.
I'm pretty sure you could set it on easy or something like that.
I've played a bunch of the Gnomes ones. There's no easy mode. If there is, I've completely forgot about that part. It's super simple. The
only
biggest
one I've
problem
played-
with them is the fact that each level is like timed, and you need to get 3 stars in all of the levels. So that's, kind of difficult. But there is easy gamer score to be had in each of these.
So I've only played one, and I haven't even finished it. It's called Day D Through Time. Same thing without gnomes. It's more sciencey, I guess. And yeah, Fufu's right. You'll have all the achievements if you complete all levels with 3 stars. And you can turn the difficulty to like very easy or something to basically guarantee 3 stars no matter how long it takes. The problem there within lies that the game is like 5 to 6 hours, it says, if you don't fall asleep, and you get 238 TAD. We are past that point in the game life cycle where that is worth it. To me personally. These fall just in line with point and clicks when they are really sleep simulators. So definitely a boring time.
Yeah, they're not the best games in the world, especially when they're all exactly the same thing. But if you want some easy gamer score, this is definitely a deal.
I mean, yeah, if you just want something to do, and if you could play this, like if you do this remote, what's it called? Remote
xCloud?
play. Well, yeah, xCloud, but remote play, and you could play this on the go, then maybe that's a way to do it.
These would be
you could
great
just knock
toilet
out
games.
a couple levels or something if you, you ride the bus or something. But $5 for all that's not a bad deal. Just a boring deal.
Yeah. When you do get later on in the game, though, there is quite a bit that's going on, and you do have to kind of pay attention because you have like goblins that come in and try to wreck everything. So gives it a little bit of a challenge. But yeah. After that, we got Game Pass news coming soon to the console and PC is Call of the Sea. And something else that was added was Star Renegade.
That is being added. That's today's date.
Time travel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
As a recording.
That's why I said it's been added to the console with Star Renegades. I'll say it again just to be sure. And then we have a couple of games going away on December 1st. That is, how'd you say this? Faria? I done forgot how you guys said that. Whatever. That's on the Win 10. That's going away. Wonder Song, Demon's Tilt, and Mutant Year Zero are all leaving Game Pass.
No, hold up. Also,
Something else?
Hateful Pigeons Boyfriends 2 or something.
Hateful Boyfriend.
It's a PC game with no achievements. And it's going away as well.
Doesn't sound very politically correct to me.
So what? Something that we do care about, contests.
Wait a minute. Slow down. I need to know, for a friend, how the Wonder Song exploit works.
You go to www.TrueAchievements.com.
Mm-hmm. Have you done it?
Yeah.
How does it work then?
I don't remember. I'm going to have to go and look up a guide.
You do a thing, and then you can choose
Is it-
where to go.
It's in the walkthrough. There's a cheat code, and just as Kush said, you pick the chapters that align to the achievements, and then you just barrel roll through them and play that little chapter. Or scene. They call them scenes.
Yeah, I think the walkthrough takes you directly to the achievements just so you can cheese it the whole way.
Yes, you can definitely do this in an hour, I think. Yes, I did it in like 40 minutes-ish. So that's how you do it. Cheat code, scene
All right,
select.
I'll have to tell my friend
Boom.
to do that.
Or you're
Give
not.
you
Alright,
a whole
certainly
60 TAD.
Woo!
That TAD.
It bugs me because I started playing this naturally. And I'm like kind of invested in it, but I kind of don't really need to see it out. So I think I might just
Not
cheat.
quite so
I don't know.
invested.
Yeah, not as invested as I maybe
Find a
was
YouTube
previously.
Quick play on 2x speed.
So you're
Call it-
saying it's not wonderful?
It wasn't what I thought it
dare you,
was.
sir.
It felt it felt a little too loosey goosey to me with the story and all that.
Are you going to do it, Fufu? I see you have not played it.
Probably not.
Checks out.
I've got war to wage on gear, so
40 minutes is
Yeah,
precious
yeah.
time, man. I get it.
And you never know when that game's going away. So
never know.
you really got to move on that.
But yeah, GTASC. What's up with how's all the losers doing, Corey?
Blah, blah, blah. My favorite time of the week. Time to shout out the GTASC losers. This week, this was period 6, folks. Period 6, our losers include the Alpha Seagull and Dark Lord Davis. They both were eliminated from the team side, and they happen to be on the same team with what appears to be randos. So I'm not going to shout them out, but they were on the team, the Lazy Peons. So RIP and peace to your team and Dark Lord Davis and the Alpha Seagull. Also, from the individual side, we have P-Tart TX, Dark Lord Davis again, Tony Coconuts, Kushmoose, sorry brother, the Alpha Seagull again, Icefire TN, and Facial LaFleur. Now they all are out of GTASC individual, and I have a GTASC spotlight this week. This person is gone for both individual and the team side. The team was Cheeve after Cheeve, and they had a hard time. And the person I want to shout out is Railbait. If you've been in the Discord, you've probably seen Railbait. Love that guy. He finished the week out at negative 22,000 TAD, but he started it at like negative 30,000 plus or something like that. He was the unfortunate victim of an Extillion title update on Bullet Beat, I think. And actually, he may have been more than that. He may have been in the 40,000 negatives. And I want to say, no, it was not his team. There's several teams like this. Icefire TN it got hit by the Cold Silence thing, I think. And maybe, I don't think Bullet Beat, but a lot of people were trying to use Bullet Beat to get themselves out of a period, and it worked for that period. But then the rollover happened, and that thing, so if you know title updates, they take all the players who've played it and they do their calculation based off that. You don't have to buy anything. So it's not like DLC where people have to start the DLC for it to count. And these Extillion updates, as you've seen, the devs in our Discord, or not the dev, well, the publisher is in the Discord and one of the devs of the games. And this is not something they're stopping. And we can see that even today. There was a game that was just updated mere hours ago. That is by Extillion. I'm trying to find it right here. The Explorer of Night. And in the past week, Castle of No Escape 2, I think, came out. Or maybe that one was a little bit ago. Which one just happened? Losing my
Cold
mind.
Silence.
Oh, there was one after Cold Silence.
Not Castle of No Escape?
Oh.
There's two. I don't know. I'm getting them confused.
Pixel Gladiator?
No, that was made easy. No, it looks like Castle of No Escape, Castle of No Escape 2, Bullet Beat. Those are all worth 2,000 gamer scores, and now the Explorer of the Night. So I guess that's it. And this publisher has already said that he is updating all of his games, and they have read that they can go up to 5,000 gamer score in increments of like every 6 months. They can do a title update, and
wow.
So expect. I believe he's already has the rest of those games in line for through the end of the year. So expect Aborigines, Mushroom Quest, Reactor X, Pixel Gladiator. I expect all of those to hit 2,000 before the end of the year, and they are playing a key role in GTASC this year. Like I said, Bullet Beat hit up to 50-something thousand, and it did not roll over before cutoff. And I think on Tuesday it went down to, now it's at 2,500. And so people dropped like mad, and it's showing. So you're playing with fire if you're touching those title updates quickly. And Railbait got hit very, very hard. He fought. And he found some console commands to some games, ripped to Pathologic 2, and he took some heat for that. He shouldn't have, in my opinion, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, those are our GTASC losers this week.
Yeah, our good friend Railbait came under some fire this week for pointing out our favorite dirty word, console commands. That was for what? Pathologic 2?
Pathologic 2. It was like upwards of almost 9,000 true achievement score, and today sits at 1,600.
Oh,
yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, this is a case where whatever. If you want to do console commands, I'm not allowed to yell at you anymore because I'm not allowed to tell you how to play games. But in this case, the people that did it legit lost a lot of TAD that are in GTASC, so they were affected.
And this is not something that was like patched in. He just found it and shared it.
Yeah, so Icefire got screwed.
Inferno did as well.
But Dems to berries. It's a Game Pass game, so everyone has access to it.
Yeah, that's one reason. Like Cold Silence wasn't as much. It was still like in the 3,000s, but when it's free to everybody, it makes a difference. Plus, I saw Waka. He made a guide for it. So, and in his guide, he was like, "I don't really condone this, but you might be doing this for a friendly competition." He was basically, hypocrisizing himself in the video. Anyways, he published a video and he was like, "You click this and you're done. You have 1,000 gamer score." It's really ridiculous for this completion. Really ridiculous. You just have to load the menu. The main menu of the game. You don't have to start
When did you do it, Corey?
I did it Monday, right after the new GTASC period happened.
Yeah, I did it for science on Monday as well.
Didn't you say it helped you with the bonus?
I did it after Waka. Yeah, so I guess I can mention that. The current bonus this week is 200 cumulative achievements across the team, and one of my favorite kind of bonuses is the spelling challenge bonus in solo side. You have to spell with the first letter of achievements unlocked this week. This is TrueAchievements. And by doing Pathologic 2, that's 49 achievements. So if everybody on your team does it, there's your team bonus. And if you're going for the solo bonus, that is 22. No, it's not. It's 13 out of the 22 letters. And that only leaves you like 4 E's, 2 I's, an S, and an R that you got to really find. So it makes it very trivial this week. So I really based off of calculations in Rocker's brain, which is always accurate. I do not see Pathologic 2 dropping to more than 1,400 TAD. I really don't think it's going to budge a whole lot from 1,600 TAD, but I can handle 200 deficit if I have to. And so the time was right. I'm not going to suffer, and it met an end to a need, which was the bonus. And also Waka did it, so I feel less bad doing it.
Yeah, I was waiting for other people to do it, and
suck.
Could have used it, or could have used other things to stay in, and just didn't feel like doing it. So.
And the thing is, since I waited till after the period cut over, I'm not hurting anybody. Those people already got hurt. Sorry, Icefire.
He's definitely butthurt.
You sound like you're just trying to convince yourself that you're not a bad person for using console commands.
I'm not doing it.
Already a bad person.
It helps. It helps.
Yeah, whatever makes you sleep better at night.
To be fair, I was never going to play Pathologic 2, so there's that.
And you still never have.
Right, exactly.
Win.
I fired it up with the intention of checking it out. It took 5 minutes to load on my PC, and I said, no, I'm pushing the button. So I went in, I pushed the button, I went to dinner, and I just listened for 5 minutes as things were just popping in the other room. It was, I prefer to play it that way.
Yeah, it's just becoming a little more prevalent. And if you could do that for every game, the whole thing would be screwed up.
Well, yeah, it definitely does mess with contests and stuff, but I did it in a smaller way.
Yeah, give it time. Well, there's going to be more to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there already has. I'm not going to share them, though.
Thanks, Railbait.
Gamertag challenge, Nate.
Yeah, we're doing that still. November's Cowboy Killer 360. The wildcard game that he chose was State of Decay. So anything in the series or a previous completion in the series. And the bonus is we're calling it Check Yourself. Any achievement containing a CK word. The words must be unique. Variations are allowed. So that would be kick, kicks, kicked, kicking. Each of those would be valid for one, but only one time. So you want to mark down the word and the achievement, and there you go.
All right. With that, it is Brad Camp time. Take it away, Corey.
All right, completions this week. Seamus McClimey, 350 completed games. MDP 73, 550. Chewie on Ice, 600 completed games. Completion percentage, the Alpha Seagull, as mentioned before, he's at the GTASC, but he has hit 44% completion percentage. And Retro Chief has hit 75% completion percentage.
Now hold it right there, Korith.
Korith?
Yeah. I
Yes,
have
my Bible name.
I have a pick to bone with you. Well, not you, with MDP 73, who, according to my calculations, has 518 completions. He uses the wrong settings. And he's like, Al, I can't believe I got more completions than you. I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, yes, I do. I'm not buying no DLCs. I'm like, but then you don't have more completions than me.
Nope.
Like, yes, I do. I said, no, you don't.
Al has more completions.
He challenged me to get more completions than me. So you're going to have to change your settings to the right settings if you're going to be challenging me, sir.
What if you changed yours temporarily? How many completions do you have?
Did you flip it to see how many you have?
I would have to... How many would I have?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, I'll do it right now. I would have to sign out. I think signing out is the quickest way.
Unlocked.
I have 530.
Or still locked, then it's not a completion.
What was that?
If there are achievements that are still locked, then it's not a completion.
Now stop using logic, Kenny.
No, hold on. I think Elle said around 530. All right, you have 500. According to that says includes own DLC. Like, I'm not logged in. I'm just looking. You have 539 completions.
So I would only have 4 more completions. Yeah,
well, he's at 550.
He had, yeah, see, he's got 35 or so. What did you say, 518?
539 is what you have. If I go to MDPs
he's
on
got
the same
20
thing, he's at 556.
Yeah, he's full of malarkey.
Oh, right, yeah. But after we start recording, he hit a bunch of milestones. 555 should have been on there.
Yeah, he's playing point and clicks like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, he's got 30, 40 games where he finished the base game but didn't do the DLC.
Not a completion.
Nope.
Anyways.
He's the type of person that walks out before the credits during a Marvel movie.
And in ratio, El Sock has reached a new milestone with TA ratio of 1.4. Mr. P-Tart has a new milestone also of 1.4. In streaks, Buffanatic is currently on a 50-day achievement win streak. I feel like something's missing. El Sock is currently on a 125-day win streak. MDP 73 is currently on a 2,000 achievement win streak. Why is that not days? Delete this.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, we don't do win streaks. Who added that?
Before we move on, I'm sorry. I hate to be breaking up Brad Camp as much as we are. But what is his face? The guy with the mask in the Discord, Skeptical Mario. he's got a mask, and he changes his name. Like, you guys don't see it. If you don't notice his name, I see it all the time. He changes his name so much, and they're so funny. Please don't stop doing that, Mario.
If I had a nickel for every time he changed his name.
Just when I see your name, it confuses me. Anyways, so we didn't read any 10-day streaks. We're not going to anymore. That contest is over, and he did appoint prizes. And so I'm just going to read out his little thing real quick because I didn't do the contest section. So final Streak King results. First place was J Black. He got 21 out of a possible 25 points. And so for his prize, he gets $21. P-Tart was in second. She got 19 points, followed by AZ Mongoose, Freaky RO, myself, and Facial LaFleur. Honorable mentions is Facial LaFleur. He got 11 consecutive 10-day streaks, so he gets a $10 prize. Another honorable mention, Mattism, for breaking a 2,380-day streak during this contest. $10 prize.
For a 10-day?
Yeah. I don't know if he probably didn't do it for this, but...
No, I think he did. I think he was looking for an excuse.
Oh, well, there you go. So
I mean, if you need an
over
excuse,
2,300 days. Vinnell72 got his honorable mention for starting a 200-day streak during the contest, so he gets $10. And then the last honorable mention is none other than Fufu Cuddly Poo for my favorite one for inspiring the contest and not earning any streaks longer than 6 days in the year 2020.
That's right. Silly contest.
Back to Brat Camp.
All right, back to Brat Camp with real, actual milestones, not silly 10-day streaks. Unstoppable has won 8,000 achievements. Pete's Heart, which she really wanted to make sure that we read this, has earned 15,000 achievements. Northern Lass, 18,000 achievements. Matriarch, 24,000 achievements.
3 ladies in a row.
4. Mental Knight has won 26,000 achievements, and Magnetism has won 27,000.
All right. The lone gamer score representative is Kbo73 with 450,000 gamer score. In TA score, the cheater MDP has 850,000 TA score.
I bet he has more than you two.
I don't like you two. Bono's overrated. He sucks. The Edge is pretty good, though. Fighter Chip 1,100,000 TA score. Stop playing Call of Duty, dude. You're not 15. Come on, dude. Stop. Just stop.
Dude.
Bro. Northern Lass is in the top 500 of
Yeet
the
that
England
game.
TA leaderboard. Yeet. Simso is in the top 5,000 of the England TA leaderboard. Kingsman, I think I saw him on a milk carton, in the top 1,000 of the USA Gamerscore leaderboard for open world and stealth. Matthew is in the top 20 of the Ireland Gamerscore leaderboard for Xbox One. Alex R. Davis is now in the top 10,000 of the TA difference leaderboard for strategy. He's in the top 10 of asking us crazy community questions. And
I think
Big
he's in
L
first.
somehow made it into the top 1,000 of the Gamerscore leaderboard,
Nice.
to the surprise of me and many else. And also the top 20 of the New York completed games leaderboard. You better watch yourself, MDP. You going down, sucker. All right, congratulations to everyone on their milestones.
Real quick, when top 1,000 in the gamer score, like over the whole site, it's pretty cool. What is your gamer score that gets you into the top 1,000 these days?
I have 626,000-ish.
All right.
Nice. That's quite a lot.
Easy clap. I'll get there soon. Just kidding. Oh, that's a big accomplishment. Good job.
Oh, nice.
Is Michelle above you in gamer score?
She is.
Okay, so she should really be like double her score. Gotcha.
Okay. Are you trying to insinuate that she did all of my achievements and all of hers, so she really has double the amount of achievements?
No, she didn't meet you day one of playing, so maybe like
okay.
45% more.
I have a son and wife who help me out too,
30% more.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Well, that ends the show, or not the show. That ends our part of the show. There'll be extra stuff attached to this, so be sure to keep listening so you get all that. If you want to watch our live streams and join in on the community plays, twitch.tv/AH101. You can check out that. Please follow and subscribe to that. You know, if you've got Amazon Prime, you get a free Twitch sub. On Twitch right now, and I will upload it to YouTube so everyone can see it. Vulgar also started Final Fantasy VII. I did not get the opportunity to watch it live. I cannot wait to watch his VOD, as he has named all of the characters after different people in the community, and he is doing different voices for every single character. I caught a little bit of it, and oh my god, it is glorious. I cannot wait to watch this in the entirety. And this is also his first playthrough, so it should be a good time. I believe he'll be streaming that on Saturdays.
He may or may not have had a tough time with the first boss when the scorpion tail.
Everybody has a tough time with that. Translations aren't good, so we're not going to fault him for that. If you would like to send us a Twitter tweet, you can do so on the Twitter @Achievements101. You can come tell Vulgar how much he sucks at Final Fantasy and give him tips to improve his Final Fantasy game by joining the Discord, discord.io/AH101. And if you would be so inclined and can help us, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/achievementhunting101. Get you a bunch of fancy bonuses and into the super secret VIP chat in the Discord.
It's not a secret anymore, Kenny.
It hasn't been a secret for a long time. We've been announcing this a lot. And with that, class is dismissed. See you next week.
Bye.
Salutations.
Next week is Turkey Day.
We'll talk more turkey next week.
Yay, turkey.
Hot takes from the Broderlands.
Welcome to Hot Takes from the Broderlands, where two bros, such as myself, spit the truth at you about those chivos you love to hunt. I am Elroy OMJ, and I am joined by the brodacious Chewie on Ice. How's it going, dude?
It is going very well, and I have something to say.
Oh.
But I'll hold off.
You're gonna wait?
Yeah, I'll wait.
Oh, okay,
I'll wait.
okay,
but
okay.
It's there. It's ready to come out.
Well, that is a tease, as we call in the biz. So, well, Chewie, I got some news for you.
Hmm?
I have a wonderful hot take that comes from the namesake of the segment itself.
Nice. Tie-in.
And it is, unapologetically, Tales from the Borderlands is hands down the best Telltale game that was ever created. This game, it's brilliant, Chewie. Have you played it? I assume you have. Everyone has. Because if they haven't, they're losing in life.
I've played all but the final season of The Walking Dead.
Awesome. So that includes Tales from the Borderlands. But I'm glad you mentioned The Walking Dead, because we'll get to it. But Tales from the Borderlands, it has everything. It has adventure, drama, romance, oddly ripped sidekicks, and most of all, comedy. So you mentioned The Walking Dead. So let's talk about this highly rated Telltale game. It's the highest rated one on TA. Not sure where the replayability comes in on this one, but the fine folks at Telltale, they gave you the opportunity to, either kill Lee or chain him to the railing. Spoiler alert. 5 different times. That's right, 5 different times. You can let Kenny kill Duck, or you can do it yourself. Spoiler alert. 5 different times. There are not even 5 different outcomes or 5 different dialogue options, but yet you have the option to do this 5 different times. And people still rate it high 5 different times. What I'm hearing is overrated. Sure, it's dramatic, but if you want drama, there are plenty of story-driven dramas out there. Go play Edith Finch. It will take you less time, and it is much better. Want a game that comes in a bigger box? Yeah, bigger box is better, right? I hear Red Dead Redemption, although I'll never touch it, but I hear that or maybe the Witcher series might scratch this itch of yours if you want drama. If you want to kill zombies, there are plenty of games with zombies in them. And most of them, you don't run from the herds and like, oh my gosh, the herd's coming. But rather you run into the herds of zombies. Those games are much more fun than The Walking Dead. The rest of the Walking Dead series, there's like 5 different ones of them. They're all just trying to redo the same stuff in the first one. It's like, oh, look, a new character. Let me try to be shocked when they die at the end of the next chapter. This character seems great. Oh, dang, I just had the opportunity to either save that person or let someone else die. Oh, gee, I wonder if that person's going to die as well. I guess they will both be dead soon. Michonne, we get it. You miss your kids. Get over it. All in all, hours upon hours of average drama and zombie engagement. It's not even the most dramatic game created by Telltale. And for that, I'm sending in the wolf amongst us for that prize. In all, drama is easy. It's just easy. Just keep putting the main characters in bad situations and people will feel sorry for them. Oh, they have it so rough. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Oh, I relate so much to this character who has their whole family eaten by zombies. But comedy? Now that is hard to pull off. Several games attempt it. Several games fail. Lots of games have an occasional scene that is comedic, such as the snooze fest that was After Party, all the way up to Satan's intervention at the end. Spoiler alert. That isn't to say that Tales from the Borderlands doesn't have a single scene that stands out because, I mean, obviously it does. Episode 2's bro scene on the back of Loaderbot, oh my goodness, comedic genius. But to pull off this level of intensity for the entire game is not an easy task. Some try, and they end up as unfulfilling as the Bertram Fiddle game series. Tales from the Borderlands has a high of jokes per minute of any game on the Xbox. Whether you're carrying around a rogue eyeball in your pocket that you had to remove with a spork, or peeling face pizzas off of psychos, or listening to a scientist talk about how his wife and his kids had been killed and that his cat was eaten by a skag, only to find out that it was all a lie, except for the cat. The cat did actually get eaten by a skag. To slicing up an enemy into small pieces using a knife, just so you could say, it looks like you just got cut out of the deal. To one of the most fantastically bizarre scenes that you will ever take part of in a video game where you have a high-intensity finger gun battle with 50 colleagues in the cafeteria area. It's no wonder the content is the best, because the voice acting pedigree is far superior to other Telltale games as well. You have the usual voice actors that are in all their games. I mean, let's be honest, they use a lot of the same people, but then you add in the gravitas of bros Chris Hardwick and Patrick Warburton, and you have an instant classic that is highlighted also by the best licensed music in any Telltale game as well. Look it up, the soundtrack, and then put it on your iPhone, your iPod, or whatever you listen to. If you still have an iPod, get an iPhone. The Chivos themselves are much better than other Telltale offerings as well. There is no stupid rock, paper, scissors, luck-based Chivo. There are no missable Chivos, such as having to unlock the Book of Fables and possibly having to do a second playthrough. You have a Chivo called Bro or Bot, and Chivos that even complement themselves with two different Chivos. One says, no matter where you go, and then the other one saying, there you are. It's got the talent, it's got the music, it's got Loaderbot doing a face turn into a likable character, it's got the jokes, it's got it all. It will remain forever the best Telltale game ever created. Period.
I concur.
Well, I mean, I don't see how you could have a problem with that.
Well, okay, so I feel like I should be here to say that you're wrong, and you should feel bad that you're wrong. But I'm not going to do that, because in some ways I do think you are probably right. I will just point out something that you said earlier, which is that comedy is very hard to do. And I agree with that, and I assume you're speaking from experience there.
Yes, that ties over to segments as well. Yes.
But yes, no, I do agree with that, and
I would love to hear which games you think are on the Xbox that are funnier than this game.
I would actually say none. I would agree that there are not enough comedy games on the Xbox, and the ones that there are often are the comedy they go for is usually rather lowbrow, not very clever. But this game, I agree, is probably at least one of the funniest games I've played, and probably one of the cleverest. So I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that 100%. I think it is one of the best comedy games on the Xbox. Is it the best Telltale game though? See, for me, it's a little bit comparing apples to oranges.
There's no place for that here.
So yes, the Telltale games are all basically the same thing again and again.
All right, which one's better?
From a gameplay perspective, they're all the same. But
are you a Minecraft guy?
They're very guy? Oh god, no.
Game of Thrones guy?
No, hell no. It's not the same thing to me though. I'm getting a different experience from playing A Walking Dead than I am from playing
Which
Tales
time?
from
The
the
third
Walking
time
Dead.
or the fourth time through?
Well, I never did that. I'm not interested in those stacks. I've managed to avoid them throughout all of the various contests and all the things that lure me into knocking them out. I try and keep my experience pure with those. The Walking Dead, yes, it has its problems. I'm not going to deny that. It has its high points, it has its weak points across the whole series, and it is fairly formulaic. But it has the central beating heart of Clementine and her journey through being a child to being a young adult and kind of adjusting to her new life and the world around her. And I think that's kind of important. But it's a very different kind of experience. And if you're not into that kind of thing, you're never going to think that The Walking Dead is superior to Tales from the Borderlands, because you're just going to be annoyed by it. You're going to be annoyed by having to control this little girl and deal with all these zombies.
I'll give you that Clementine is not as annoying as a lot of other characters, such as the characters. Oh, Chloe! Oh, God, I'm so sorry, Chloe. Don't let. Oh my gosh, Life is Strange. Oh my gosh, that game can get right the hell out of here. And then I found its ugly cousin recently. Tell me why? Oh my gosh, I have no answer to that as to why I played that game. Well, actually I do, because I thought it was worth more points than it was worth. I didn't realize it snuck in 1,500 gamer score, not 1,000. So I thought it was worth about 500 extra TAD than it actually was, and I got suckered into that thing. Oh boy, don't play that game.
If you asked me to rank the Telltale games, which I assume
rank the Telltale games right now,
I would put Game of Thrones near the bottom. Minecraft, I've just never had any interest in Minecraft in general. The story was entertaining, but it was, meh. So probably that above then. And then probably the other series of The Walking Dead, I would probably put at the top I would put Tales of the Borderlands in second, below the first season of The Walking Dead. Purely because it kicked the whole thing off.
It's just nostalgia.
It may be a little bit of nostalgia, and it changed the game in some ways for a lot of people in a very bad way when it came to these kind of story-based games, because people really don't like the whole visual novel style, choose your dialogue approach to adventure games. But for me, I think that the writing, the drama was solid, and it kind of, like I say, created a new genre. And that ending is pretty affecting.
So what I'm hearing here is a couple of things. 3 things. 1, you're wrong. 2, you just made Loaderbot like a little daub of oil come out of his eye from making him sad that you didn't choose him. And then the third thing is that basically what you're arguing is that because it came out first. So you're saying that Super Mario Brothers is the best platformer of all time. That's what I'm hearing.
Well, see, I do lean that way with a lot of things. I think Dead Space 1 is better than Dead Space 2. I think Batman Arkham Asylum is better than Batman Arkham City. I usually think the original films are better than the sequels because I am a snobby purist, so that's the way I tend to lean. But look, okay, if you ask me to rank the Telltale games, that's what I would do. But I also
which one would you want to play right now? Which one would you start right now?
I also
if you had to do a stack right now, which one would you start, Chewie?
If I had to do a stack, Game of Thrones. just to really undermine what you're trying to say. No, I wouldn't put them in a ranking position though, because like I say, they're different experiences to me. If you ask me to rate my favorite comedy games on the Xbox, it would go right at the top with a bullet. So I am not arguing that point there. And so look, I'm putting it in second. Second is a very high position. I'm putting it, way up there.
It's not good enough, Chewie. So you're saying you had the opportunity to play just one of them right now. Start one, and you had to pay attention. You couldn't play on your phone while the dialogue's going on. You had to pay attention to everything. You would go with Walking Dead over Tales of the Borderlands.
It's the same. You're asking me to make the same decision about what movie I want to watch. If I want to watch a comedy film or a drama film, it depends what mood I'm in. Completely depends what mood I'm in.
You keep this up, I'm going to go and give all 20 Walking Dead games a 1 star. I'm going to do it. You just keep this up.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's very, very good. I'm saying it's the best comedy game on the Xbox. I would just put it just behind The Walking Dead if I had to, but I wouldn't want to because to me, they're different games. They're different types of games.
I didn't realize you were a dramatic Wookiee and not a funny little Wookiee. I feel like I just learned so much about you, but still disappointed. But don't get me wrong. But
okay, that's it. I concur. I concur up to a point with your.
All right, I'm right. That's what I'm hearing. I'm right. I like it. All right.
Well, how about we throw it to the community? If anyone is listening to this, has got this far, then please let us know on the Discord how you would rank the Telltale games and where you would put Tales from the Borderlands.
All right. So, come on, man. Let's hear some truth. Give it
Okay.
to us straight.
Right. So, when you asked me to join you on this segment, I originally wasn't sure I would really be of much use. Contrary to the discussion we've just had, I'm actually generally a pretty easygoing guy. I don't try and take many sides on different issues. I try and see things from different perspectives, and I don't really get riled up very much at all.
Is this a bunch of disclaimers here? Or?
Yeah. Just giving you my perspective on life in general. When you asked me, I originally was like, nah, this isn't for me. But then I was putting together this month's CCC challenge, shameless plug, which is centered around point and click games, right? Going back to the Telltale games, which also count. And it reminded me of something that really actually does really get my goat. So my hot take is that adventure games, including point and clicks, should not have speedrun achievements. Not ever. They are terrible. I think they are completely misplaced. And when I see them turn up in a list, it actually makes me see several shades of red.
And why is that?
Well, okay. So, first of all, you might think, well, is it really a big deal here? Is Chewie just getting riled up because one or two lists have got one or two achievements occasionally? But actually, it's a lot more pervasive than you might realize. So, I'm going to give you some examples here of games that have speedrun achievements in their lists. Are you ready? Are you sitting down?
Yes.
Agent A, Broken Age, Draw a Stick Manipic 2, Far Lonely Sails, Gorogoa, Grey Matter, Maze, Pinstripe, Red Johnson's Chronicles, Shape of the World, Superliminal, Siberia, Siberia 2, The Journey Down Chapter 1, The Little Acre, The Secret of Monkey Island 1, Monkey Island 2, and Yesterday's Origins. All of those games, and probably more, have a speedrun achievement in.
That Maze one, man, that one pisses me off.
Oh, I've got a story to tell at the end about that.
Oh.
So, there are a lot of games that require precise timing in a specific section or part of the game. I don't mind that. As long as you can redo it as many times as you want to get it perfect or whatever, that's fine. What my concern is the finish the whole game within a certain amount of time achievements. And I'm going to tell you for why. Generally speaking, adventure games, including point and clicks, are story focused. The developers of the game have put a lot of time and effort into building worlds full of interesting characters, writing compelling stories and dialogue. In the case of point and clicks, they've also usually carefully crafted puzzles and minigames for the player to uncover and solve. They have poured hours of work, blood, sweat, tears into the artwork, little details to build on the world, Easter eggs, funny little moments. For people like myself who play these types of games and enjoy them, it's experiencing those elements that they tend to enjoy, and in general, experiencing them at their own pace, which, guess what, tends to be a relaxed pace. By introducing speedruns, you're doing two things. The first thing is that you're encouraging people to actively ignore all of the things that have been built into the core of the game, its purpose, its reason for being. People are literally going to be just actively skipping through all the story, all the dialogues, all the cutscenes. They're not going to be exploring anything, discovering anything about the world, reading anything. They're not going to be doing anything aside from the main missions, and they're literally going to just use a guide to solve all the puzzles mindlessly just to chase down that clock. The second thing that you're doing is that you're introducing a level of stress to playing the game that you would simply not get if you were playing it at your own pace. It's counter to how the game is intended to be played and puts off its core audience. If I want stress in a game, I'm going to be playing a shooter or something action-oriented. If I want to play something casually in a nice relaxed way, all cozy on the sofa, probably falling asleep because I don't get enough at night, I will go for an adventure title. To add to the stress is the frustration that, for whatever reason, if you fail the speedrun, you have to play through the whole game again, which makes you resent the entire experience. I know how you like to think, okay, in metaphors, so I'm going to give you some metaphors. To me, this kind of thing is equivalent to having a shooter where you can only use your knife throughout the whole game, or a driving game where you're only allowed to drive in one car, the first car that you get, or a Vayner where you can't even double jump. It's shackling you to a playstyle that is counter to the game's design, which might be fun to do in like a single section of the game or a chapter or something like that, but not for the whole thing. It's like if, Elroy, I'm going to invite you round to my house. I'm going to cook you an amazing meal of all of your favourite food. No carbs.
Okay.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to look so good. I'm going to pour hours of effort into it. It's going to taste amazing.
I hope you don't expect something afterwards.
It's all right, because I'm just going to shove it in a blender. I'm just going to shove the whole thing in a blender, and then I'm going to make you drink it through a straw in 1 minute. The tastes are lost. The textures are gone. We don't have any fun dining chatter. No tasty little amuse-bouche on the side. You just got to suck it up and get out.
Oh, man.
Even the people who design the achievement lists in some of these games are making their own references at the stupidity of the whole thing. Gorogoa's speedrun achievement is called But Why? Exactly, Gorogoa. Exactly. Yes. Yesterday Origins achievement includes the description, "Who said speedrunning is not fit for point and clickers?" I do, Yesterday Origins. I do. Look, I know what you're going to say, Elroy, before you say it. There are people out there, L, who will say, But you could just play the game for fun the first time and then do the speedrun on the second playthrough. Okay? Which I get. I understand that. That's the sensible thing to do. That's what probably normal people would do. But let's be realistic here. We're achievement hunters. And we tend to want to work through a game's achievement list in the most efficient way possible, which usually means getting all the collectibles or missables on the first playthrough, playing it on the hardest difficulty going in, and yes, getting that speedrun achievement done in the first playthrough. Sure, it's probably not quote-unquote the best way of experiencing the game, but that's our curse. We know it's bad for us, but we do it anyway. I also know that there's a group of gamers, let's call them speedrunners, who actively try and do this across all manner of different games. For what, I don't know what reason, bragging rights, world records, whatever. And I also recognize that there are other people, let's call them idiots, who don't even like point and click games. They're just playing these games because they're usually easy, quick, score boosts and completions for whatever stupid contest they're doing. For those people, skipping through the cutscenes and dialogue, not exploring any further than the main objectives, and using a guide for all the puzzles, is just going to be how they want to play it. Doesn't matter. Even if there's an achievement or not for speedrunning it, they're going to be doing it anyway. So fine, just let them do their thing. But don't reward that behaviour with an achievement at the cost of all the other people who want to play the game as it was intended, but feel maybe they can't because there's an achievement there shackling them to do so. I'm going to finish, okay? I'm nearly done. Don't worry.
Oh, you're doing great, man.
Let me finish by telling you a story. My own experience. So one of the games I listed, and what you already mentioned, is Maze.
Ugh.
And Maze is a game I am particularly fond of. I love the writing and the world of that game, the insane, nutty, Python-esque humour with its idiotic sentient corn and ornery Russian teddy bear. It's got a fun story, interesting puzzles. It's just overall very entertaining, as a point-and-click especially. But it has an achievement which not only requires a sub 2-hour speedrun, but one that also has to be done in one sitting. Mm-hmm. Okay, you've experienced this.
Yeah, you'll notice that I do not have that achievement.
Oh, so when I tried it first time, about a third of the way through the game, which I was really enjoying, apart from being increasingly resentful that I was having to rush through it, it crashed to the dashboard. So that game is known for being a bit crashy, okay, which isn't great when you got some achievement like this. That meant I knew I'd failed the achievement, and I had a choice. Restart and hope it didn't crash again so I could get the speedrun, or just pick it up from where I left off and enjoy the rest of the game, not stress it, and do the speedrun on another occasion. I chose the latter. And I'm glad I did. There is so much going on in that game that you simply would not notice if you were speedrunning it. The background to the story has these two insane feuding scientists that you never actually see, and it's mostly delivered through a series of post-it notes that are dotted around the walls of the facilities, these crazy exchanges between them. They are really funny, and you just wouldn't see them if you were speedrunning. Also, the items that you collect, a lot of them, serve absolutely no purpose in the game, but they have really hilarious descriptions that kind of make fun of those random item puzzles that you get in the old LucasArts games, or the Artifex Mundi ones, where you just put some random stuff together to solve a puzzle.
Like a diamond to cut some glass.
Exactly. So there's these really funny things in that game that if you were speedrunning, you just wouldn't take the time to notice. So I took that time to explore and solve all the puzzles by myself. If the game hadn't crashed on me, or if I'd decided to retry the speedrun as soon as it did crash, I would have missed out on that experience. And yes, that's on me for making or not making that choice. But I'm still allowed to resent the way that the very fact the achievement existed made me feel shackled into making that choice in the first place. And scene.
Well, a couple things for you. So, you said about if you wanted a nice, or some people do like speed runs just to break world records and everything like that. I think that some people might try to break the world record in The Walking Dead because it's such an amazing replayability that they would be able to go back and enjoy so many times over. Speaking of which, any guesses what the highest rated adventure games out there might be?
Probably The Walking Dead, if I had to guess.
The Walking Dead, the final season, The Walking Dead, the Telltale Definitive Series, and The Walking Dead. Overrated, I am telling you. All the way down at number 8 or 9 is Tales from the Borderlands. Granted, it's tied for second, but still, that's not good enough. But as far as the adventure point-and-click games go, the speedrun is a bane of my existence. I don't even know if I have any speedrun achievements. The only one I think I've ever gotten... No, I don't know. I don't think there is one. I hate them. I loathe them. Mm-hmm. How am I supposed to manage the walkthrough and the guide while trying to, hit the clock? This is one of the things I really hate about Metroidvania games, which is that it seems like almost every freaking one of them has one of these little things on it. I don't know. They need to clean that up as well, but apparently it's bled over into the adventure game now. That's unfortunate. So, but I have no use for the speedrun. I'm a pretty easygoing guy as far as my gaming goes, and speedruns they do nothing for me.
So wait, you 100% agree with me?
I do. I have no use for speedrun achievements, and I'll take it a step further. Speedrun achievements, they have no place in gaming. I'm sorry. They just don't. They don't have any place in... you want me to finish your game in how long? No, thanks. I'll finish it when I want to finish it. And so this actually reminds me of one of the funniest achievements I can remember. It's... oh, man, there's this one game. I can't even remember the name of it. But basically, you get an achievement for quitting the game. And so, okay, I'll just quit the game. Yeah, that's... no problem there. I haven't been back. I think it's like worth 199 points or something like that. It was ridiculous. But speedrun achievements, it's like the same concept. They're like, hey, we think you should be able to finish this game in this amount of time. So, maybe if I developed the game, I could do that. But you want me to sit there and, figure out all the ins and outs of this game and memorize it? No.
Well, and they're just asking you to skip it. Oh, by the way, I made this game. It's really great. But just skip it. Just skip through the whole thing. Don't bother.
Yeah, skip it. It's like, I'm good. I've been burned by these so many times. Where you have to beat the game in X amount of time, and I think I come in about 2 minutes late each time or something. I don't know. Sometimes I hate it when they don't even give you the clock. Like you don't know how close you were, or how far away you were. Yeah, that one is.
Sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you don't know if pausing the game stops the timer. Yeah. Cutscenes. Do cutscenes count? Don't know. Sometimes.
No, for sure. I know, and it's it's a slippery slope, and I think we need to eradicate the speedrun achievements. And you have my full support, my endorsement, and you just let me know which one of these games needs 1 star, and I'll take care of it.
I don't think, especially in adventure games, I think literally no one would miss them. If people want to speedrun them, they'll do it. They'll record it on their Twitch and they'll brag about it. Put a leaderboard in the game. I don't care. But why put an achievement in there? It just makes no sense to me. And let's throw this one back to the community as well. If you agree with us or if you disagree really strongly about it, then let us know. Let's have an argument.
I think we solved it. I think we've solved a lot of things here. So we've concluded that Telltale's best offering is Tales from the Borderlands, and we discovered that speedruns have no place in gaming.
I feel like these were very hot takes. These are the issues. These are the issues people are talking about these days. I can't think of anything else.
Yep, and that's why we address them. I think that's all the time we have for today. So get your grill ready, and we'll serve up some more hot takes in the near future. So if you have any ideas for any hot takes that you would like to hear us pontificate on, then let us know. As long as they're good hot takes and they're factually correct, like Tales of the Borderlands being the best Telltale game. So
best comedy game.
Oh, that too. It's not only the best Telltale game of all time, but it's also the best comedy game of all time. I mean, the accolades just can't get long enough for this game. So, but anyway, again, I'm Elroy OMJ, and my oddly ripped sidekick was Chewie.
I just want to point out that this is probably the shortest segment that I've ever noticed that you've been on. Does that mean that we've managed to get the speedrun achievement for this segment?
Bloop, bloop. Achievement unlocked. Elroy's shortest segment. All right, guys. Well, y'all take care, and we'll sizzle it up next time.
Bye.
Takes from the Broderlands.
Welcome to Waka's Weird Wonders. I'm Wakapeil, and today I'm going to very cautiously recommend the lowest rated game on TA that I'm aware of. Released on Xbox in July of 2020 and rated half a star with only 70 starters on TA, Turok Escape from Lost Valley is a perplexing game. Based on the comics from the 50s and in no way related to the other Turok games, Escape from Lost Valley manages to anger a large part of its potential audience simply by existing. Instead of a violent shooter, this is a cute isometric brawler where you are only armed with a knife and a bow. You play as Turok, the honker hunter, who along with his buddy Andar attempts to find a way out of the honker-infested Lost Valley. Honkers being what the comic and game calls dinosaurs, but I quickly thought of it as a swear every time I saw it in the game. While Andar accompanies you through most of the adventure, he can't be controlled by a second player, which is unfortunate as his AI behavior is atrocious. Fortunately, he can't die or directly hurt you, but he frequently hits you with his arrows, stunning you for a moment, allowing the honkers or other enemies to murder you. At least he is a walking arrow dispenser, and you can pick up any arrows which he doesn't hit you or the honkers with. It is crucial to pick up enemy patterns to progress through the game, as you have a very limited health pool, a short supply of arrows, and the bosses in particular can take a lot of damage from your puny knife before going down. Researching how and why this game exists, I discovered it was the result of two brothers from Hawaii winning a Universal Studios contest awarding them the rights to use one of Universal's intellectual properties. Turok Escape from Lost Valley was not brought to you by a large studio. It was mainly a set of twins developing the entire game by themselves. In hindsight, attaching the Turok IP, which used to be attached to fairly big budget games, to a scrappy indie game probably hurt more than it helped, as the game has been widely mocked way before release due to the expectations on the Turok license. The wonderful hand-drawn graphics adds insult to injury, as it looks like a kid's game, but very soon reveals itself to be nightmarishly difficult. It is as if the game intentionally tries to make you hate it. It disconnects itself from the Turok gaming IP so hard it instantly makes fans angry and bewildered, lulling them into a false sense of security with its cheerful graphics before unleashing the honkers on you, chewing your face off, then kicking you while you are down. To make matters worse, the game was arguably unfinished upon its original release and lacked a bunch of quality of life improvements which are now in the game, along with some much needed difficulty balancing. Early reviews of the game justifiably completely trashed Turok Escape from Lost Valley. Even if it now is much improved, it is still a beast of a completion, and no one has managed to complete the achievement list on Xbox or Steam. Not because it is grindy or a time sink. The achievement list could arguably be completed in less than 3 hours, but it is insanely difficult. The main campaign is short, but very varied, with almost every encounter being unique. The gameplay is not exactly fast-paced, but requires precision, as you have very little health and you can't interrupt your own attacks to roll out of the way of the enemies. Large encounters remain completed. It's usually a good idea to backtrack to a campsite to save your game and heal up after every major fight. The only thing, except for your friend's AI, that is objectively subpar in the game is the audio. There is just not much of it, and knifing honkers sounds weird. As mentioned earlier, the campaign is short, the collectibles are easy to find, and there are no missables as you can fast travel between checkpoints. The final 2 achievements, however, are honking bonkers. Completing the game on the very hard difficulty is among the most difficult achievements I've ever unlocked, and right now I'm the single person on TA who has done so. But the unidentified icing on the cake is completing the survival mode. Survival mode is more or less a simple roguelike where you have to finish 7 levels with 7 bosses, of which the order and layout is randomly generated. Not only will you have to start over if you die, but levels get progressively more difficult, increasing the speed and health of your enemies. There are random drops of health, ammo, and other supplies, and you can improve Turok over the course of the session, but everything is gone if you die. My best run took me around 30 minutes, in which I reached the final boss, the undying killer honker, but I could barely catch my bearings as it was slightly different from the end boss of the campaign before it crushed me. Turok Escape from Lost Valley has 1000 game score worth 2800 TA, of which 1 achievement hasn't been earned yet, likely because it is super difficult, not because it is unobtainable. When or if it is unlocked, the total TA will be increased by around 1500 TA. The game is normally $15, a steep price to pay for this punishing brawler. Knifing honkers is as tough as it sounds, and I do recommend this half-star gem if it is ever discounted again, if you're up for a real challenge. Honka honka honker, everyone!